And so I went to emergency, and after a few hours and medications and all that, they said, yes, you've had a heart attack and part of your heart muscle has died.
Another interview, because we love them so much.
It's our favorite segment on our channel.
Yes.
We love connecting to ARMY all over the world. And today we have another super special lady waiting for us on the other side of the line,
Yes.
which is Sharman. And Sharman is going to tell us and you her story of how BTS... Actually, it's a very interesting story. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But it's the other way around that you would normally feel. Like normally people say like BTS saved my life. Well, this is maybe something different. We'll see. Here comes Sharman.
Hi, I'm Sharman. I live in Victoria, BC, Canada. And I'm here with Dennis and Tim to tell my story. It's a little bit different, as he said. If I start with, I'm a BTS lover, and I'm an older ARMY. I'm 67, and I discovered them in February of this year after watching Carpool Karaoke, and they later on gave me a heart attack. Now, I know all of you out there think you're going to have a heart attack every time they release something new, but they literally did give me a heart attack.
Like literally, like really, literally.
Yeah. I'll explain. After I discovered them, I was listening to their music a lot, and then I discovered them at the end of February, and then COVID came, and we're under quarantine, and we were sort of stuck at home, and several weeks went by. It was getting the end of March, and I thought, I have to do something to keep fit. And you can go out for walks, but the weather here is usually quite dreadful in the spring. So I thought, what can I do? I'm not really into, aerobics or anything. And I thought, well, I could just dance. I could just put on one of their videos. I know I'm not good, but hey, it would get me moving. And so I set up my iPad and I picked Idol, which was probably my first mistake. And I started doing, I didn't even finish the song, and I fell back on the bed, thought, whew, that's pretty heavy duty. And I got pressure in my chest and pains in my arms. Thought, whoa, you got to take it easy. And that was on a Friday. And over the next few days, I kept getting those symptoms every time I exerted myself, until on Monday, I found I couldn't even shower. That was too much exertion. And so, 3 days after doing this. And so I went to emergency, and after a few hours and medications and all that, they said, yes, you've had a heart attack and part of your heart muscle has died. And you will have to have an angiogram, which is where they look at all your arteries on the heart. And I had that the next day, and they said, yep, it's blocked. We're going to do some things here. And they stuck some stents in. You're awake for this operation. It's quite interesting. You have a big screen. You see your heart beating and all the arteries there.
Wow, crazy.
They want you to be awake. And so I had that done, and I was out of the hospital the next day. And so I went home, and this was a big shock. Although, like many older people, I have high blood pressure. It's been controlled by drugs with one pill. And I went home with a prescription for 7 more, all sorts of pills. And you go home, and the happiness drugs they've given you wear off very quickly. And a few days later, I was very, very, very depressed. What do you think? I love to travel. Will I be able to travel again? What's life going to be like? And then on top of that is COVID. I was just kept sinking into thinking about my own mortality, which, I don't really want to do. I still feel young. And I thought, I can't think about this. So what are BTS up to? And I'd watch a song, watch a music video. And it just happened that I couldn't really concentrate. I'm a great reader, as you can see behind me. We're both great readers. We have been all our lives. I couldn't concentrate on a book because it was just too much. But what I could do is watch BTS. And they really helped. It was so lovely to sit down and watch 7 very lively, physically healthy young men dance their little hearts out and sing and listen to their message, and it just brought a smile to my face every day.
So you can actually say, like, because you said you got into a depression because of the whole situation, and were they able to lift you out of that depression?
Absolutely. I know what I'm like, and without without that pleasure every day of looking forward to more music, because I was still in the stage of discovering a lot of their music. Without that,
Their
listening
first
to them-
song, wiped you out.
my first song, after I had watched the Carpool Karaoke, like you, I thought, who are these guys? They're great, they're funny, isn't that hilarious? And I Googled them and I picked Blood, Sweat and Tears. Partly because there was a band like that in the 70s. And also there's that Churchill quote about blood toils. And I thought, I wonder what that is. And my eyes nearly fell out of my head. I put it on. And first of all, it opens and they're in an art gallery. And that is my second great love. Every year I try and take at least 2 trips to Europe to visit great art galleries. And I thought, oh, this is amazing. And I recognized the art. And I got a lot of the nuances and, the fall of Icarus and all things like that. And I thought, these. And then they started dancing. And then they sort of zoomed in on Jimin. And I thought, oh, wow. There were guys like that when I was growing up, And that was it. That was it. I fell right into in the wonderful rabbit hole of BTS.
Awesome. And in what way did you grab onto them in your depression? How did you cope with that during the day, or how?
I'd watch more of their music videos and their past catalog, and then there are always things on YouTube about them, and I'd watch. It was just jolly to see young people enjoying themselves, and also then I got into the messages they were spreading. So the whole love yourself message gradually crept up on me. And that really helped, from thinking that, well, my life's over now, what can I do? What's the point? And feeling a bit hopeless. I began to think, no, you're you. You're you, but you're now you, a lady who's had a heart attack. That's part of your history now. Embrace that, love that. But don't dwell on it. And the little things overall, it was a very, very gradual progression, but overall, how they've affected me is that I don't save things for later now, and that could be part of also facing your mortality, but it's definitely their message too. Now, I went out and bought some clothes, even in the midst of COVID. I bought some newer clothes. I dug out some perfume that I only wear on special occasions, but as we don't go out much, I maybe would have worn 3 or 4 times a year. I put it on every day now.
You smell lovely. I
smell lovely.
Yes.
I smell lovely. And clothes. We're very casual on the West Coast, but I do have a closet full of clothes because I'm one of those people who keeps buying clothes, but they hardly get worn. And now I don't care if I'm going to the grocery store or the pharmacy or something. I'll put on a nicer pair of trousers and a nicer sweater, a better coat, and go up to the store. And that is all due to them, because I wasn't doing that before.
So that is very powerful, right?
Yes.
And
it just makes you feel good. And putting on makeup, for example, have a drawer full of makeup. Again, it was special occasions, and now I try and wear it most days.
Yeah,
Things like that.
And it's all about how you see yourself. It's all about yourself, right? It's like you said, wearing clothes or wearing, doing your hair or putting up makeup. It is all about if you walk past a mirror and how you look at yourself, even if it's in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes. Your appearance, how you feel you want to present yourself to the world. That's all part of your personality. That is the first thing that people see.
Yeah.
And I think appearance can be important if it's important to you. If you're a younger person, you might want to be more casual. Whatever your style is, that is you. So to present yourself in the way you want to appear to people, it's important.
And
it's of course also part of self-acceptance and self-love.
Yes.
So it's very important.
Is.
And it's not about making yourself beautiful for others to see. No. It's just for you. I remember buying a pair of shoes that were very sporty and young, like a few years back, or maybe even 10 years back. And I thought, oh, these are too wild. I cannot pull them off anymore. And I asked a friend, and she said, oh, you can totally do that. And I did, and it made me feel so good, just for yourself,
Yes.
Yeah, it's about the feeling you get, and then you also you mirror that to the outside, and then you also
Exactly that.
That's what you do.
If you feel good about yourself.
That's right. It gives you that positive feeling about yourself, and then that changes your walk. It changes your smile. It changes everything when you go outside.
And isn't it awesome that a group like BTS can do that for you, that they can remind you of that?
It is amazing. The music I used to listen to, I have never listened to popular music since about the mid-70s. The music I grew up with, that was all the music in the 60s and the 70s. In fact, I mean, the first rock concert I ever went to was Led Zeppelin in 1970. And I've seen some of the greats, and that was wonderful. And then I stopped listening, and I listened to classical. I mean, you hear modern music, you see news articles and that, and I found a lot of it sort of just not my taste. But with BTS, it has something for everyone. When I first started, I listened to what I would call their softer songs, their more ballad type songs. And then, some of them would have a little bit of rap in. And I think, that's not bad for rap. And of course, I delved into the lyrics. And now I'm happy. As I say, I was going through their back catalog, which have more rap songs, I feel. And I wouldn't say I'm a lover of rap in general, but I feel that the way they do it, the things they sing about, they're first of all not denigrating women, which is very important to me, and the main reason why I didn't listen to any other rap, because you mustn't do that.
Yeah.
That's just not the thing to do. And it's clever. Their rap is very clever, and their lyrics are very clever, and they're different. They're very, very different, and I think that's a measure of their success.
Yes,
you get the same experience as well.
Yeah,
we're also not that into rap normally, but for BTS it's a totally different story.
But I think of course it goes with the people. You have to like the people to begin with, but then it is their message, and their message is in every song and everything they do. It comes down to the same message.
Yes.
And that
does.
Yeah, and that is
it's respect people, love yourself, do your best. You're perfect as you are. Don't worry. All the things that they say.
Yeah.
And the way, I mean, when I try and tell friends how much I like them, I try not to bore them. I haven't converted anyone yet. I'm really hoping I will. But when you start saying things like, well, they're different. They have a love yourself message. It sounds a bit lame. It sounds lame when you say it, but they aren't. It's Pollyanna-ish to say, they're telling you to be better and all this, but they do it in such an effective way because they genuinely believe. That's the other thing. They're genuine. Yeah. They're not acting.
No, and
they're absolutely genuine. Every video you ever see,
and that comes across with them, and I think that is also why their message comes across so powerfully, because they really, it's what they believe in. Yes. It's not written for them. It's not put upon them. This is who they are.
Yes, they live it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we always ask this question towards the end of the interview. If you could meet BTS and say something to them as a group or to one of them, what would you want to say?
What would I say?
Yeah.
What would I say? Thank you. Thank you for everything you do.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm going to tear up in a minute.
Oh, sorry. I don't want to make you cry.
No, that's okay. I would say thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for what you're doing. I hope you keep going. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Awesome. Beautiful. Well, and we want to thank you so much for doing this interview with us.
Thank you.
Because I think it's so nice to see faces and connect people here on our little part of the internet that we have.
You always see a name and like a little dot with a picture, and that's it, and then you don't know nothing about the person.
And now other people know your face as well, and that's how a story gets spread out.
It's always so weird. It's also such an imbalance. Like everybody knows us and hears us and sees us every day, but we barely get that the other way around, and that's always nice for us. And
the same goes for other people that react in our comments. So this is awesome that you wanted to share your story, and maybe some other there's somebody else out there that can connect to that part of the story, and then I think that is the whole powerful thing of YouTube.
Oh, well, thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure.
It was our pleasure as well. Thank you so much. That was Sharman. I just love the story. I love the story that it's completely turned around from what you normally would expect. Normally it's like, BTS gave me a heart attack in the best way of the word. In this case, it didn't give her something nice in the beginning, but then it turned around and it helped her get through the whole ordeal. Yeah. Which I also think is an important story to share, and Well, let us know in the comments down
Beautiful.
below what you think of Sharman. If you want to say something nice to her, you can leave a message for
Yes,
her.
please
She will
leave a
read
message
it.
for her as well. It's awesome.
Yeah, and if you want to be in one of our new interviews, then send us a message on email
Yeah.
or on Instagram.
Of course,
right?
we love to do those interviews, so if you feel the urge to also be in one of those interviews, please do.
Because we will keep going with this.
Yeah.
Yeah? Thanks so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up, and we'll see you very soon.
Bye.
Bye.